Good afternoon and good morrow to thee, my loyal subjects. My name is MiAh the King, and today we're taking a look at a game that came out on Steam earlier this afternoon called Animalia Survival. Now, I saw a game very similar to this in the past. It was dragons. It was called Day of Dragons, and that game was just a big old middle finger to anyone who bought it and played it. So let's hope that's not the case here. This game is developed and published by Hi Brazil Studio, who according to Steam have no other games under their belt. Now, this might be their first game. Also, this game is in early access, but that doesn't really matter much. Unfinished and slightly buggy, I can understand, but anything more than that is inexcusable, even for early access. I've already explained several times on my channel why that is, but if you need to, I can explain it again. I'm not going to, but, if you need me to, ask in the comments, I'll let you know. Anyway, this game is described as follows on the Steam store page. Live as your favorite African animal. Choose between being a carnivore, herbivore, or omnivore, predator, or prey. In this multiplayer ecosystem with a realistic open world, choose to become a lion, elephant, or even a swift gazelle. But remember, the savannah law is to survive at any cost. Sounds pretty good. But I've seen this idea done several times in the past, and other than their original fanbase, these games don't normally do that great or offer you anything of much worth. But let's just jump right in and take another look at another one of these animal MMO games. And you know what? Enough of all this crap. I'm going to make this quick. Don't buy this game. Everything is a lie. Everything about this game is wrong. It's wrong. This isn't going to be some long video talking about the good and the bad. This isn't going to be some video of me being non-biased and saying, oh, it depends on who you are and if you want to play. No. This time it's me warning you. Consider this a public service announcement. There is no game here. This is just straight up trash. Now, you might think I might be being a little bit too harsh, but I'm not. In the freaking description, I literally just read it. It says you could be an elephant, which is wrong. You cannot be an elephant. You can only be two things right now on the herbivore side and two things on the carnivore side. And if you are going to advertise that, if you are going to put that in your game's description, you better freaking allow it. I don't care if you're early access. It's in your description. Switch out elephant for rhinoceros. And you know what? I wouldn't have had that big a deal with it because then at least I would have known what I was getting into. But you can't play as an elephant. There's hippos everywhere on this game, and everywhere on this, like when you get into the game of like hippos in the background and hippo pictures. You can't be a hippo. No, you can't do that. This is terrible. You might notice if you check out on Steam that my playtime is less than an hour. Well, there's a reason for that. The game refused to let me play any more than that. Eventually, in this video, you're going to see an infinite loading screen that I was forced to stay in, and that concludes the last 10 minutes of my gameplay. After that, I gave up because I couldn't freaking get in. Any of you remember that game, Day of Dragons? If not, I'll put a link to it in the description down below. It is another video I did on my channel, and this game is basically the exact same thing as that game. Hell, for all I know, the developers of that game changed their name and then did this in the hopes of earning a quick buck, hoping nobody would notice. Well, if that's the case, I did notice. And those game developers of Day of Dragons were assholes. They were banning people who were talking bad about their game and disabling comments. So they were assholes on top of being terrible at developing games and trying to steal your money. And this could be another example of that. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what kind of developers these guys are. But right now, this game is pretty bad. I mean, if you look at my screen right now, we're looking at the same desert, same plants, same water. The only difference is that instead of playing as a dragon, I'm playing as a rhino. Now, I will say that in this game, there are several different regions you can start out in. And I guess I just was the unlucky son of a bitch who picked this stupid desert for some reason, but it's not a good start when I start a game off the exact same way as another terrible game I did a year or two ago. In Day of Dragons, you were born as a dragon from an egg and forced to grow up and change and evolve and grow and see what it's like to simulate being a dragon. But here, it's the exact same thing, only with a different animal that you can pick and choose. So basically, this game sucks. It's definitely not worth your time, and I highly recommend you stay away. And no, by the way, I want you to listen for just a moment. Just listen. You hear that? You hear that nothing? Yeah, the game is not muted. Neither is my recording of the game. That's just zero sound coming from the game because it has zero sound. I mean, it's got some interesting music at the main menu, but as soon as you get into a server, all the game sounds just die. But if you want to know some more specifics, then I'm going to continue on. But if you've had enough, you've heard enough, then fine. Game sucks, move on, I get it. But anyway, here's on with some of the bad stuff. I mean, there are literally no positives here, so I'm not even going to bother trying to find them. I mean, is the idea interesting? No, it's been done to death 100 times, so it's not original or unique or interesting in any way. Is the gameplay fun or engaging? No, not really. It's boring. You basically go from point A to point B trying to grow bigger so you can fight bigger animals, I guess. Problem is, This takes hours of sitting around doing nothing, as you can clearly see from my gameplay. Is there anything of value here at all? No. There's nothing. There wasn't even a single-player experience which might have saved this game. And the multiplayer was so disappointing I don't even really want to go into it. I mean, I was talking to other players online, sure, but I never met anyone. I mean, what you're watching right now is all there is. This is all I did. In the advertisement, they show a little video, of a baby rhino following its mama. But can you even have babies in this game? I'm going to say no, you can't, because I saw no evidence of that in the controls or the gameplay scheme. So, most likely, you are being misled from the Steam store page just as I had been misled by the advertisements on the Steam store page. You cannot play as a hippo. You cannot play as a zebra. You cannot play as an elephant. You're stuck in a shitty-ass desert, just like in Day of Dragons, with nothing beyond the horizon or desert hills. Now, maybe you can go into these other areas. Like, maybe you start off in the desert and you can make your way to a swamp or to a forest. But, I mean, it looked like that was not possible. I even tried to go in a certain direction and then I hit an invisible wall. So, maybe I went the wrong way. But if these maps are seriously that big, then what the actual hell? I mean, do these developers seriously think there will be thousands of people trying to play this game and get into the same server, and so therefore they need these massive maps? There's no bots. There's no other animals running around, so it's literally just you playing for like an hour in the hopes of finding someone. And then if you do, and they end up being a herbivore like you, then, you say hi and go about your day. Wait another hour to find somebody. And then if they're the opposite of you, like if you're a herbivore and they're a carnivore, then you fight or run for 10 to 15 minutes. And then once you're alone again, you remain alone again for the next hour until you run into another player. I mean, just look at this, people. Look at this. This is what you'd be doing. This is what you'll be playing. Let's not forget that other players that I was talking to in the game were complaining about falling through the floor. Let's not forget about the absolute horrible internet problems this game was having. I could barely connect, and when I could, it took absolutely forever, only to then be immediately disconnected after I finally got in. So, right about this point, right about here, you should be seeing the infinite loading screen that I got stuck in. This is what almost half of my playtime was. Or it was this, or just fighting to stay in a server. Like I said earlier, there's no sound effects at all, like none. Like I heard one roar once in the first minute of my play, and ever since then it's been completely silent. The only sounds that you get are from the UI and the menu when you're clicking on things, but that's it. And there's no gameplay here. There's no buttons that do anything. I mean, you can lay down, you can eat, drink, drown, swim, sleep, I think. I mean, I pushed H and my rhino laid down, and I held H, and suddenly I was disconnected. Is that how you log out? Because if it is, that would have been nice to know. Another thing, gotta mention it, no tutorial, no help of any kind, which means this game is already putting a bad taste in my mouth from the very first second because there was no tutorial telling me how to do anything. And then, is there any kind of cool multiplayer aspect? No, there's not. If you happen to meet another player, depending on what animal they are, it's going to depend on your interaction. If they're a herbivore, literally nothing will happen. If it's a carnivore, most likely you're going to kill each other. And then you're going to have to start all the way over again from a baby, doing nothing, crawling around, hoping to grow. I mean, I'm sorry, you really expect people to pay $20 for this, game devs? Really, for this? You expect people to pay $20 for this? It's terrible. I normally don't do this, and I know people in the comments might say that I sound angry or that I sound frustrated or not, but I'm not. I'm passionate about video games. That's all it is. And when a game charges me $20 and then offers me shit, I'm going to complain. I mean, if you went into a restaurant and paid $15 for a steak, and then someone brought you back nothing but the bone from the steak, you'd be a little irritated. You'd be like, where's my steak? Oh, well, this is just the pre-version of the steak. What if they brought you a steak that wasn't cooked yet, and you're like, well, hang on a second, I want it cooked. Like, I paid you $15, why isn't it cooked? Oh, well, this is the early access version of your steak. Yeah, it's going to take us another 15 years to cook that steak for you. So I just paid $15 for a lump of meat then. That's right. Well, can I take that lump of meat home and cook it? No, it has to stay here until it's cooked and until you eat it. So then I basically just paid you $15 for nothing. Can I get my money back? And that's the beautiful part. Yes, you can. So yes, you are going to get your money back for this. Just like if someone were to give you a raw steak, you'd get your money back for it at a restaurant. Look, just do yourselves a favor, everybody, and steer clear from this game. Alright, I tried playing it on the single player. I tried hosting it on my own. I tried playing it on multiplayer, joining other servers. It was boring. There was no one there. It's badly designed, and even for an early access game, this is absolutely ridiculous. I highly recommend anyone who sees this video to steer clear of this game and to save your money. For the same price of this game, you could buy almost any other game on Steam and it would be better than this. There are $60 games out there that are on a discount for like 20 bucks that would be so much more worth your time than this. So yeah, sorry, there's not a whole lot of in-depth analysis here, everyone. There's no super constructed intellectual debate going on. I would love to see somebody try to debate me on this in the comments below about how amazing and great this game is and how it's so unique and original and no one's ever done anything like it, because this game is just straight up trash and not worth your $20. Maybe it's worth $5. Maybe. And, you know, if it goes down to that, then maybe it'd be worth it, because who knows? It could end up being legit developers, could end up being a legit game one day. But until then, this game is nothing, it offers nothing, and yet it's taking $20. So if you really think this game is awesome, fine, be my guest, go play it. But I'm still going to recommend you not do it, and instead go find something else to play. I mean, there's a game came out today called Tales of Arise Tales, something like that. I don't know what it is. That's the game I'm looking forward to. That's the game I'm going to go spend $60 on, because this game is a joke. So that's all I got for this video. Just a friendly warning to help you guys out. Don't buy this, don't support this, and go play one of the other half-dozen games that do this exact same idea, but better, or they've had a lot more time under their belt to make it better. So thank you very much, everybody who watched. I hope I was able to help some of you out there save some money and maybe save some time. And as always, if you have anything to say, if you want to talk to me, debate me, whatever, keep it civil, and let's do it in the comments. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments. I try to get back to everybody as soon as I can. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure, and until then, I bid you all farewell.